All right, so we had a bunch of weird stuff happen to us a couple nights ago.
Goddamn right.
How mad were you at me that night?
No, I was so mad. I wasn't that mad. Okay, I can't lie. I was like somewhat excited, but I was more terrified than anything because I just don't like going down there.
And this fine fellow right here, Pat Hess, was there, and he is the root of a lot of the things that happened that night.
I had a feeling Hess was gonna slip too, because you just...
Well, first off, we just came here. We were just hanging out and shit. I brought over what was left of my 12-pack of Meadows that I drank that day.
At the end of the podcast, I walked out right before we finished to go to the bathroom, and I went to go turn off the light, and I remember I was wearing a sweatshirt and it was unzipped, but it was still, I didn't lift my arm up that high, so it was hanging about right next to me, and something fell off of this little shelf in there and onto the countertop, or it moved. And as I was turning the light off, and then I come back in here and I'm just like, well, fuck. Because it was right after Hess agreed to go.
What do I call it? The Secret Forest?
The Secret Fields. You started saying that it was the Silent Meadow.
Silent Meadow.
Yeah.
Silent Meadow. I think that's a better name for it. Get fucking creepy like that. And, yeah, so we're talking about, the Silent Meadow. And, we're just talking about, like, what happened down there. And, so we decided to go on a nice brisk walk.
Obviously you were psyched to go.
Oh yeah, I was excited to go
You're
back.
always into those kinds of adventures.
Well, I've always been interested because things keep happening every time I go back there. Well, I remember you noting that you did remember a few things, but you were surprised about some of the footage that you saw.
Yeah. So, pretty much started, walking down there. We didn't really make it that far. We probably only got a little bit past the property to where a house used to be. And, this house, burned down like a few years ago. As soon as we walked down there, that's when everything, started going a little downhill. It started being a little eerie.
When Hess started acting weird and started trying to get you to go down there, specifically you.
I was thinking it was fucking with me. Explain your version, or I wouldn't say version, but your way of viewing the change in Hess when we went down there.
It was like instant. Like just out of nowhere, out of the blue, he instantly just switched from like, hey, we should check it out down there, to no, let's not go.
Started hearing a bunch of random stuff, and I don't know. I mean, for some reason, I just got like so mad. Like I just got just filled with hatred.
Oh, yeah.
What about when he kept going with it though?
That's kind of like Hess sometimes. When he just kind of like wants to fuck with you, sometimes he will commit to it. Sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But not to the fullest extent of what we saw that night.
Just like that's not normal. Not for him.
No, I've never seen him do something like that. He's, like I said, he's, messed around with us before, but never when we're doing something paranormal or in the dark. Yeah, because you changed on...
It was like just...
Yeah.
Complete, just opposite, just,
It's like you turned off.
Yeah, it was just like, I just turned off, And for some odd reason, it was like, I was kind of like drawn, like towards, because like that lot where that house burned down, it's for sale. It's been for sale for a while. It's just a vacant lot. And then you go down the little driveway that's there, and then, for some odd, like there's no lights on there, so it's just pretty much pitch black. You can only see like by the light of the moon.
Just to give you kind of an example, he might hate me for saying this, but there was a time that him and I and one other person went down there. We were going in there and like we were literally linked arm by arm. Mm-hmm. Like me and other person are on the outside and he is in the middle.
And and for some odd reason I was just like really just drawn like to go down there. Like I just like really so wanted like to go down there for no apparent reason at all. I remember that, you know, I tried to talk Pat and going down there with me, which luckily, you know, we didn't, because to be honest, I really don't want to go down there, you know, during the nighttime.
What do you think it was?
What it was? Like him changing his moods?
Yeah.
It was something. I can't tell you exactly what, but it was something and it was not good.
And I got really mad, you know, I started, you know, swearing a lot, and then what the Meadow that I had, I ended up getting like just so mad and just yelling just out in the woods, and everybody was telling me to be quiet because, you know, the cops were getting called and all, you know, things of that nature. And I got so mad, I just whipped my beer at, you know, at the forest. Like I just chucked it.
Yeah, that was weird because you're not known to waste alcohol.
Yeah, no, I wasted, you know, good beer. Like that, I feel pretty bad about that now. You know, started going back up, and then I don't know. I still, you know, like, you know, there's like bits and pieces I really don't remember. I don't know. I just remember like being so mad, just like saying like a bunch of stuff.
So what exactly was it that made you walk backwards to watch our backs?
I saw a red light.
A red light?
Mm-hmm. At the very beginning of that entrance to the driveway. You know how there's that, like, weird bulletin board right there? Imagine, like, you're looking right at the side of that. And I've never seen, like, an orb with my own eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Always on, like, cameras and stuff, but that's the closest thing I could begin to
describe it
as. Okay. And there were no lights, like, over there.
Right, there's none over there.
There were no lights shining on the road. It's dark as fuck down that road.
There's no street lights over there.
I mean, the yards for the houses, even over there, like, they're pretty far back.
Decent back, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, 100 feet.
At least.
Like that. Like, it, decent ways. But no, it looked like a popped or something like that. But yeah, like, just for a fucking second, I saw it right behind us. And that's when I did like a double take and I just stared at it. And that's when I started walking backwards. And I'm like, okay, I don't got a good feeling about this. Because at that time, he was saying, you know, like, okay, you know, we don't got to worry about it. We don't got to worry about it. And then he turns around and he's like, fuck you, and starts calling fucking names and shit. And like,
right.
Like, oh yeah, I'm totally going to fucking believe you. Because you're saying it's okay.
And, you know, we got to like a certain point of the hill. And there was just like something like, I don't know if it like ran across or like we heard something. I mean, that part's kind of blurry, but we all just started like running and stuff like that. And I mean, I don't know why, but I mean, I thought like, you know, like the church would be like the safest bet for some odd religious reason, even though I'm not really religious.
The first thing that you said when we started running was, get away from us.
Yeah, you know, watching the video, yeah, I did yell, you know, like, get away from us. And so there's something definitely down there. Something, I don't know, something kind of like attached itself to me. It was kind of weird, but then like kind of like, you know, like when we got further up the hill, it was kind of gone. And I don't know, like I just felt just like so much rage, and I was just yelling and screaming at it.
You were, for a good while, you kept saying, like, calling me specifically, that you barely acknowledged Nikki. You kept trying to get me to go down the driveway, but then just like how you said, you kept like just snapping and turning back and forth. Like, you told me to go down there and then tell me not to go down there. And then the last time I asked you if you would go down there, because you said, Pat, we should go back down there. And I stopped and I asked if you would go back down there by yourself. And you said that you didn't know at this point. What caused us to run?
So, coming back up this hill, I remember you and the two of us were walking together, and Hess kept on, like, slowing down and stopping and turning around and screaming into the darkness, saying, like, F you, F this, F that, basically. And I'd turn around and be like, dude, like, what's going on? Like, talk to us, you know? And he's just like, oh, it's nothing, we're fine, it's good. And just as we were continuing to walk up, he would fall a few feet behind us and just mutter to himself. It was, and then what caused us to run, you had You were walking in front of us, facing behind, to watch behind, and me and Hess were walking forward, and we were kind of joking around. And Hess just kept on, like, as we're talking over us in the background, he's like, it's evil, it's evil, it's fucking evil, it's fucking evil. It's fucking evil. And he's like, Pat, agree with me. It's evil. And you're like, yeah. And then we were talking about going back down there, and you said you wouldn't put me in that situation. And right after that, I heard a noise behind us in the grass. I didn't see anything because I wasn't looking back there, but I heard someone running through the leaves. What did you see?
I just saw a black shadow. It was not small. It looked, I could just think of like a rectangle. And the only thing that comes to mind when I think of a rectangle moving across a yard is a fucking person. So, I don't know. I don't know what it could have
Like
been.
a rectangle. And you know it wasn't just something, well...
We all three of us heard it.
Right, we all heard it.
But I don't know what it was. It literally went from it was like just appeared in the middle of the yard, went straight over, and that's when I heard all the fucking leaves.
What was it that made you run?
Instinct.
In a second, dude, like out of nowhere, turn and go.
Yeah, my body just took off.
Yeah, you didn't even say anything.
I saw something and I didn't even get the chance to say anything. It was just get the fuck
and
out
then
of
Hess,
there.
I didn't hear him scream it when we were there because probably adrenaline. But going back in watching the tape, he screams, "Get the fuck away from me," or don't, something like that.
Like, go away, get the fuck away.
Yeah, get the fuck away.
Yeah, he says something, but it's enough that if that's the first fucking thing he says, that's just ugh.
Eerie.
It's super eerie. Like, I saw a fucking shadow go across the yard.
Yeah. And then we were standing up at the church, and then he started doing that little prayer.
We've done our fair share of stuff, and I've normally been the one to be like, dude, let's just go. Let's just leave, like, right now.
Yeah. Like, okay, this is creepy, this is cool, but, like, I don't want to, be haunted.
Yeah, but this, I was all about it. I don't know why. Like, there was just something just like I said, I was just drawn to it.
We're all running full sprint over to the church.
Right, because we were so close to the top.
Mm-hmm. And,
we were almost getting close to the edge of the light coming from that street light and the one in the parking lot.
You know what? Maybe that makes a little bit of sense.
Huh.
Is, you know how we moved all the way off to the side to, like, towards the church to, kind of do that prayer type thing?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Hess did the prayer.
Right.
We're standing there. Maybe the reason why I didn't get any closer is because we were in light. I'm just talking out my ass kind of at the moment, but like maybe that's why, because when Hess moved over and like we've said it before, the angle of the light and everything, it wouldn't cast the shadow on that stop sign, or not stop sign, the 35 mile an hour sign.
Plus how much closer that is to where we initially ran from.
Yeah, I mean,
that's eerie.
Yeah, because you weren't even meaning to get that on camera.
Right.
It was right when we heard that you heard water and I heard a fucking tapping sound.
To me, it sounded like it was a drain, almost.
A drain?
Yeah.
And nothing was wet.
Right. Like it hadn't rained like the whole week before, right?
Yeah, that was before any...
No, that's not true.
Well, it was, we didn't have water.
It was like a day or two beforehand, yeah.
We didn't have water anywhere. It was all dry.
Yeah.
Maybe in the woods, it'd probably be muddy. But
probably,
like, as of like water just like seeping away or draining away from a flooded area, there's no.
Right.
No, because literally where we were at is on top of a fucking hill.
Right.
Yeah, in that picture, the picture you guys sent me with the street light, the speed sign. For some odd reason, like you could see, like the sign. Like, like none of us, like, it was dark, and like, obviously the signs are reflective, but we weren't standing anywhere near it to cast a shadow,
Yeah, the way the light is, it wouldn't cast it towards that sign. It would cast it across the street.
You know, there was a shadow there. You know, it was like, it looked like a head. And then, you know, as we watched the video, you know, there comes like a point, and then I can't remember, like was there like a noise or something, and it just vanished?
Okay, so what happened was Nikki heard something, like we all heard something, because you were focusing towards the back part of the church, because you said that you heard something. I don't know if that's audible on the actual footage or not. I don't remember, but we're all facing that direction, and it just so happened that her camera was angled towards the street when that happened. You were kind of hunched over doing the whole prayer thing, kind of like trying to go into like defense mode.
Yeah.
And like, I don't blame you, dude. And, like, anything that will work, that will stop something like that, that's fucking creepy. That's really fucking creepy.
Yeah, I mean, as we, you know, further got away from it, you know, I mean, that's when, like, I started feeling, like, a little bit better. But, you know, I definitely felt like, you know, there was something definitely there. Yeah, the whole prayer thing, I was, you know, pretty surprised about that, because, you know, I don't even pray, you know.
It seemed like a lot of things that happened that night were instinct.
Yeah.
When we got back up, and we got back up to where our neighborhood kind of is, what did you think about that car alarm going off?
It was just weird. Because, like, it was right after you said something, like, you said you have to fight back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you said that, because Hess kept on turning around and, like, looking behind us and, like, just looking over his shoulder constantly, and, like, he was still kind of talking to himself a bit. And then, he just kept on saying, we're fine now, we're fine, we're good, like...
Even though stuff was still happening.
Yeah. And then you said something about fighting back, and right after you said that, the car alarm, like a few blocks away, went off, but it wasn't a car alarm that I've heard around here before.
Yeah, I've never heard that. I have never heard that car alarm go off.
It wasn't like a normal beep, beep, beep.
No, it was like multiple tones and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like you hear it on the recording.
That was just weird.
That was really weird. Whether it be coincidence or not, it was just kind of like...
It was
the fuck?
good timing then.
Yeah, really good timing. Okay, I'm here with Matt, and can you tell us, or at least from what you can remember, about what happened that night? When you came over, it was just you, me, and Nikki, and...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I came over here after work, and I was just hanging out. We were just having a good time, just chilling, and...
We were telling Matt everything that had happened, and showed him the tape, or at least a couple things from the tape that we, like, caught on my camera.
At one point, the blinds fell, and just there was no real reason for it to fall. It was just because the blinds were just duct taped on, and there was no wind. No one had touched them. Just fell for no reason whatsoever. And I was told then that it had happened at least either once or twice before in the day, and there's no reason, because it's as it was explained, it's T-Rex taped on there, not even duct tape, T-Rex taped on there as it was explained.
So then we put it back up, and then moving on, was it right afterwards, I think, a few minutes later, that the little Buddha statue fell. I don't know, I was really sleepy at the time, so like I can't really gauge how quickly everything happened altogether, because I'm pretty sure, no, it fell the first time, and then later on that night I was falling asleep and it fell again, and it scared the crap out of me.
And then Pat received a text from his mother, and he showed it to me, and it said, it's like, I just heard you call out to call out to me, "Was that you?" And showed it to me, saw the text. That was weird. And then received another text after that thing where she stated as I saw the text, as I held the phone in my hand, looked at it, said, "I just saw someone walk into the laundry room." And that's when I started, it's like, okay, this is weird. Finally, the crescendo of it all, when the Buddha statue that was hanging on the windowsill, there was 4 up there. One had fallen off previously and was seated on the wallet. And I looked and heard a noise, looked over, and one of the Buddha statues was gone. There were only 3 up there. And all the drawings that are tacked onto the wall there, none of them were moving. There was no breeze. This statue just fell for no reason whatsoever. And I stood up and I walked over towards it to look, and I found for the other Buddha. I at first thought that the Buddha that was on the wall had fallen there. Unfortunately, luckily someone was there to explain that one had fallen earlier and was placed out there. But this one had just fallen randomly, and there's no rhyme or reason. That was the last event that happened during the night that I knew of at the time. I went home, went to bed. Next morning, or next afternoon, got up to go to work, and my sister said, "What's that on your forehead?" And I went into the bathroom. I looked, and I had 2 marks on my forehead. One right here, and one right here. I wasn't smart enough to get a photo of the time because I didn't even think about it. I didn't even think about it at first. My mind was elsewhere. I was too busy focusing on work. It wasn't until thinking about it, recalling the night previously, and all the realizing is like, oh God, well, looks like I got marked. And that's kind of, I'm not really scared. I'm more intrigued.
Are you sure that it wasn't you that scratched your own forehead, or?
I've thought I didn't. At no point in the night did I scratch. I don't recall scratching myself there, and I've never scratched myself to the point where I claw marks. I can show the camera. My nails are so short. I have nothing. I have little buds of nails. I can't claw anything. And it couldn't have been my dog. My dog was never anywhere near my face. And also the fact that the marks were gone. There's not even normally something of that level of the way they looked, because they looked like full human fingernails clawed in. That was not. I have been clawed in the face before with nails, and it doesn't go away that fast. Even a light claw doesn't go away that fucking fast.
No, it still leaves a mark.
Yeah, there's nothing now.
Yeah, because you came over the next day.
And you didn't see anything on my face. It just looked like my normal fucking face.
Things keep getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
Every time we go back. That's why I'm not going back. Not at night.
It's just not... From the stories that you've told me and the feelings that I've gotten while being there with other people, it's just not... I was walking down the path with one other person, and it was like the middle of the night, and it's just a constant feeling of something being behind you. And I was that dumbass that would have died because I kept on looking back.
Don't do that, it hurts. That's what I have to say.
I don't know what Hess heard, but he was facing the same fucking direction.
Right,
The creepy part is that he was facing the same direction we were without saying anything to him. And you'd think that he would say, whatever prayer that he was saying towards the road. The place that we just fucking ran up from.
I thought he was facing that way.
He turned towards the church.
Don't go down there at night. Don't go down there at night. Don't agitate anything. Just, if you're gonna go during the day. Yeah, because, you know, it seems more peaceful there during the day, but I don't know. At night, it's just a different feeling, you know? It's definitely something. I mean, I'm probably, like, I'm just going to avoid it at all cost. Like, I'm just going to avoid it all. Like going down, what was it, Weber?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah, I'm just not going to go down Weber down late at night, you know? Avoid that area at night. Like, I'll go down there during the day, but I'm not going to fuck with it at night.